In this segment, we will talk about after you have established communication between your computer and the gateway, how does the gateway communicate with the things network in the cloud? And let's get right into it. So first, you will need a things network account. And here I'm just demonstrating to you by using the liminal tag things stack in the cloud. And obviously, it will be different for your own use case. So after you log in, you will be able to see there are two different buttons. One is the go to applications, and the other one is going to gateways. So what we wanted to do is to click on go to gateways. So here are the list of gateways that's already connected to the liminal tag things cloud account. And the first time when we connect to it, we would need to click on Add Gateway. And then there are three settings that you would want to configure for the gateway to be able to communicate with the Things Cloud Stack or the Things Stack. So you will want to change the owner, and you would also want to change the gateway ID. And in this case, we can change it to anything that we want to use. We can name it with any gateway name. We can just say indoor RAK. And also remember that it does not take capital letters or underscore, so we would want to change that to that. And that is one thing that will give you warnings in several different places in later videos as well. So you will want to pay attention to the ID part. For the gateway EUI, this is a number that I mentioned before that you want to write down when you are connecting to the gateway. And if you forget about that part, we can go back. And since the gateway is now plugged in, we can just connect to it. And after it's connected, we would want to go back to the login screen. As I mentioned before, the default IP address to configure this. And if you have watched the previous video, this is exactly what I walked through to the how to connect to it. So then what we do is we can go back to the LoRaWAN network and click on network settings. And this gateway EUI is exactly what you would need to copy and then paste into the gateway EUI value when you configure into it. And in this case, we are just gonna connect back into our network here, so we're not using the gateway to connect online. But this is exactly where you would want to copy and then paste into the ThinkStack EUI. The other configuration, this is already filled in by default, so this is matching exactly what the ThinkStack server IP address or IP name or the server address, and this is already pre-filled, which is quite convenient. And then everything else is fairly straightforward. For my setup case here, there has not been any other changes in the other categories. And when you finish configuring, you can basically click create a gateway. And what will happen is that when you go to the gateways, you will see a new gateway that will be created. And in this case, we have already connected to the gateway. We can see this AC06. This is exactly what this particular gateway I have connected says it's connected. And that confirms our configuration is correct. And if we wanted to see the details of this gateway, we can click on it. And this is very useful when we need to do troubleshooting. And these are the various different information that is corresponding to this gateway. And you can definitely see that the status of the uplink and the downlink. You can also see just now we have data that already sent from the gateway to the ThinkStack, and so on and so forth. There has not been much configurations for the other parts, as I am aware of. The live data simply just shows the communication that has been done between the gateway to the ThinkStack cloud server. So, this is focusing on how you can configure the gateway to communicate with the ThinkStack server. And this happens obviously after you communicate the computer and the gateway, which I showed in the previous video. In the next video, we will talk about how to connect different sensors that I have here, such as one like here, LoRaWAN sensor to the gateway, and also how to configure the communication of this sensor in the ThinkStack, so that we can upload and look at the data that was uploaded. Okay, thank you for watching.